one home, two shootings within days. Police want to find out if they're linked to an extortion scheme. Big spenders.
If you look at Alberta, a lot of people from the east have moved out to the big cities, Calgary and Edmonton, over the last several years.
Why Alberta leads the nation in retail sales growth. And there's nothing quite like it. The burlesque Mexican wrestling sensation on stage in Calgary.
We had such a blast last time and the audience went bananas.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. Police say a shooting targeting a Northeast home last night may be related to a string of extortion incidents. Several bullets entered the home, but no one was injured. Jacqueline Wilson joins us with more. So, Jackie, what's the latest on the shooting?
Yes, and so police say the shooting happened about 10 o'clock last night in the 100 block of Terrawood Lane in the Northeast. The same home was also targeted on Tuesday about the same time. Investigators are working to determine if these shootings are in connection to those ongoing extortion incidents that are happening across Canada targeting members of the South Asian community. Now, prior to this latest incident, police say that there have been 12 reported extortion attempts since July in Calgary. Of those, 9 involve someone shooting homes, businesses, or vehicles. No injuries have been reported in any of those cases. Investigators say that victims have received threats via WhatsApp as well as international calls. So if anyone has information about these incidents, they are asked to email the extortion team, or you can call the police non-emergency line. Tips can also be submitted anonymously to Crime Stoppers, and you can find all that information on our website, ctvnewscalgary.ca. Ian?
Thank you, Jackie. Emergency crews responding to a carbon monoxide call this afternoon in Falconridge. Officials say several running vehicles in the parkade were to blame. Carbon monoxide levels reached 200 parts per million, which is when people will start to feel sick. The fire department says because there were no working carbon monoxide alarms, crews had to go door to door to alert people. They were asked to leave until the building could be vented. Nobody was injured. And in Bowness, firefighters were met with heavy smoke and flames while responding to a bungalow on fire. 911 calls came in just before 3 o'clock. Crews knocked down the fire quickly, which appears to have originated in the back of the single-story home. Along with the frigid weather conditions, firefighters say they were met with another challenge on scene.
We're just having some challenges now. There's multiple void spaces and seems to be additions that were made onto the home. So we just want to make sure it's completely extinguished.
No one was home when the fire was ignited, and no other residences are impacted. That section of 75th Street at 39th Avenue Northwest is blocked off, and a fire investigator is now on scene. 3 weeks after she last took questions from media, healthcare workers are wondering why Alberta's premier isn't addressing their system concerns. Tim Brooke joins us live with more. And Tim, it's been a chaotic month in our emergency rooms.
Yeah, and that's exactly why so many physicians and nurses that we've chatted with this week want to hear from Premier Danielle Smith. As you mentioned there, it's been 3 weeks since we last heard from her, since she last took questions from media on January 2nd. And in those 21 days, we've seen more hospital overcrowding, more capacity issues, longer wait times, and as you know, many people calling for a state of emergency. Now, Alberta's Minister of Surgical Health Services says earlier this week that the province already has the tools it needs to weather this storm without that state of emergency. That minister has also denied multiple media requests this year before making that point clear. Well, as for Smith, since a Christmas break, she's only appeared at private functions, most focused in on energy and the economy. Healthcare workers want more public accountability.
It still took weeks to hear from any of the 4 health ministers, and the premier is still missing in action. And when we finally heard from a minister, it was just regurgitating previous promises they'd made, but that have no timelines, no costing, long-term promises, nothing to deal with the emergency that we're facing right now on the front lines in healthcare.
Now, the Premier's office tells me that she's continued to meet with ministers while she's been gone, and she's also been constantly briefed on government business. Ian, it's expected she'll host her radio call-in show this weekend and then leave to Ottawa midweek. Back to you.
Very much, Tim. The city started work this morning on the replacement of the Bears Paw feeder main. Work sites are set up at Edworthy Park, Shoaldice Park, and near Sarcee Trail. Construction will run around the clock using micro-tunneling to get under major crossings like 16th Avenue, the Bow River, and the rail line. The plan is to add a parallel steel pipe, the same size as the existing feeder main, that will eventually take over service. Originally, this project was slated to take 4 years, but city officials are trying to get it done by the end of this year. The total cost of the project is not yet known. Calgary Co-op is closing 2 of its Northwest grocery locations in early spring. The Sage Hill and Hampton stores will wind down operations by March 28th. This includes the Hampton's Co-op liquor and cannabis locations. The local grocery chain says despite efforts to boost sales, the closures come at a time of evolving economic and market conditions. Co-op says it's working to support the impacted workers, adding the closures will free up capital to support its more sustainable stores and projects, including a new location slated for Marda Loop. Alberta is leading the country in retail sales growth, with new numbers from Stats Canada showing a big jump in spending. Mark Villani is live outside of Market Mall. So, Mark, walk us through what's behind Alberta's strong performance.
Well, Ian, it's a mix of people, paychecks, and big-ticket purchases. Experts say that strong population growth is also increasing the number of consumers here in Alberta, while lower interest rates and still a solid job market, that is giving some Albertans a little bit more confidence when it comes to spending. Now, here's a look at the latest numbers. Canada-wide spending hit $70 billion in November of last year, and it was Alberta that actually saw the largest monthly increase out of all Canadian provinces, climbing 3.7%. Now, retail experts say a large bulk of that spending came during the Black Friday shopping rush, with consumers taking advantage of sales. Another large driver came from motor vehicle and parts dealers, as car sales outpaced most other retail categories too.
So if you look at Alberta, a lot of people from the east have moved out to the big cities, Calgary and Edmonton, over the last several years. So what you're seeing is I think it's been discussed too, how housing prices have increased significantly in Alberta, in the big centers. And you're also seeing probably a higher indexed retail sales growth as well for those reasons too.
Now, despite this increase, economists still say that the strength may not last. As of the latest numbers from Stats Canada, early numbers from December say that retail sales actually fell as well. There's a lot of trade uncertainty. Tighter household budgets could also slow things down moving forward. Ian.
Mark, thanks very much. There's a lot of snow in the mountain parks west of the city this winter. Mountain rescue specialists say it's the most they've seen in a few years. And right now that snowpack is fairly stable. There are 2 weak layers that experts are watching, but they say despite that, the snow has bonded well. Mike Koppang is part of a team of specialists who head into Kananaskis country south of Canmore on a daily basis to watch for avalanche hazards.
The big difference this year is because of the large amounts of snow and mild temperatures, we see the snowpack just kind of settle amongst the weight of itself. And it squishes down and it starts to bond fairly well. A lot of the other years we don't have much snow. We have very cold temperatures, and as such the snowpack sort of just evaporates a little bit and gets that very sugary, weak crystals that form along the base of the snowpack.
One of the best ways to make sure you're safe in the mountain parks is to read the daily bulletins posted on avalanche.ca. And no matter whether you're in the city or the mountains, more snow is on the way, right?
Yes, we have some snow, enough to shovel, Ian. We talked about this coming up. This is on tap for us tonight and for tomorrow. So expect a very wintry conditions before we start to actually increase in temperature on Sunday. So one more day of this cold weather. -12 right now at the airport. This is the warmest we have been all day. The wind chill is -19. And as you can see by your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. The temperature will stay pretty pretty similar for the next 24 hours. Tomorrow's high is -10 with a wind chill of -18. We are looking at snowfall starting as early as 9:30 tonight. Starting off as a few flurries, intensifying around that midnight hour, and then heavy for early tomorrow morning, and then starting to make its way out, fizzling out to a few flurries by tomorrow afternoon. All right, don't miss the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery VIP deadline. Buy your tickets before midnight tonight, and you are in to win the Audi Q8 VIP prize or choose $100,000 cash. Buy now at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
Thanks, Danielle. A 3.5-hour flight turned out to be a lot longer for some passengers. Next, why the plane bound for Toronto had to turn around and start over in Calgary. And Spinning for Cancer, the fundraising event that's a preview of a bigger event this summer. A Flair Airlines flight from Calgary to Toronto had to turn back this morning. The airline says the plane's tail scraped the runway during takeoff. The plane was airborne for about an hour, presumably burning off fuel before landing safely back in Calgary. Flair Airlines says its maintenance team inspected the aircraft and confirmed there was no damage. The plane was cleared for service and shortly after resumed its flight to Toronto. Danielle, you had just mentioned that it has been quite a while, really, since we've had significant snow.
Before Christmas,
Yeah.
we talked about it. So it's been a bit, especially enough to shovel. We've had a few dustings.
Yeah.
But this is one where you need the shovel. Unless you have someone that does it for you.
They need the shovel.
Then they need the shovel, correct. Here's a Skywatch weather camera, and we do have some cloud cover out there. The winds have been calm for today. They're going to pick up, and we have this system rolling in tonight, and it's going to start bringing us some snowflakes. It's cold, and we're going to remain in that cold territory right through tomorrow, and then you'll notice a difference in temperature. Will warm up by Sunday. -19 is what it feels like in the city right now. -20 is what it feels like in Pincher Creek with the wind chill. -22 is what it feels like in Lethbridge and Medicine Hat. Drumheller -23. So there's a bite in the air. All right, we have no more warnings in the south end of the province. There is a warning in Rocky Mountain House. It's a snowfall warning. That's because about 20 centimeters of snow is expected in that region there. And then you can see that the cold warnings are in blue. They've retreated, so it's Provost and up, where they're looking at wind chills in the -40s. We're not going to be that cold in southern Alberta, but still quite chilly. You can see that polar air that's really plunged down into eastern Canada. And if you watch this, I'm going to fast forward this to Sunday, you can see the green that starts to creep on in, the warmer air. So we likely won't get above freezing on Sunday, but we'll be close to the freezing mark, which will be quite a difference from what we have right now. Okay, there you go. There's that snowfall starting to make its way south. It doesn't look like much now. It will intensify in the overnight hours. I'm going to show you the hour by hour here so you can get an idea of the timeline. It will make its way down the QE2 this evening. By about 9:30, we'll likely start to see some flurries in the city, and then that will intensify by the midnight hour and pick up and become pretty intense at times, may even reduce visibility because the winds will pick up a little bit, so nighttime driving won't be ideal. And it should be pretty consistent up until about 8:30 in the morning on Saturday, tomorrow, and then it will, in the afternoon, it will start to make its way off to the west. So you can see it slumping and moving all the way down the foothills into the Lethbridge area. How much snow can we expect? In the city, 5 to 7 centimeters. Similar idea for Cochrane, a little less further west, Canmore about 4 centimeters. And further to the south around Lethbridge, about 5 centimeters from this one. It's another cold one tomorrow once again, wind chill of -18 on and off throughout the day, but Sunday is quite a different day. Mainly sunny skies and a high of -1. We'll dip a little bit for Monday to -4, but we should be above the freezing mark by Tuesday of next week. All right, don't miss the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery VIP deadline. Buy your tickets before midnight tonight and you are in to win the Audi Q8 VIP prize or choose $100,000 cash. Buy now at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
Thank you, Danielle. The High Performance Rodeo seems to specialize in offbeat, even weird performances. And there's nothing quite like this. Still ahead, Miss Rita tells us about her truly eccentric show, Lucha Vavoom. Precious metals are part of your nest egg. You're doing pretty well today. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popowich Carmeli Advisory Group. And first of all, Liana, how did the markets end the week?
Well, it was certainly an interesting trading week, even though it was a short week for the U.S. side of the border with MLK Jr. Day happening on Monday. But with the markets open, we saw a lot of volatility, particularly in the U.S. We did finish the week down slightly on both the Canadian and U.S. sides of the border. But for example, the TSX was down less than 0.1%. So we got back to where we originally started roughly for the week. But there was a lot of geopolitical tensions that played into the week this week. We talked a lot about Greenland earlier this week, and by the end of it, we weren't talking about it at all. So really, that kind of shows you how fast that news cycle really moved, and really how fast the markets moved along with it. So it was quite the wild week, but ended up roughly in the same place as we started.
And record highs today for gold and silver.
That's right. And that was one of the things helping the TSX index in particular. We saw a record high on silver, over $100 an ounce, and gold just about hitting that $5,000 an ounce mark. Both records hit today as in terms of new record high values for both of those precious metals, as more investors look for an alternative for the stock market or maybe some of their U.S. Treasury holdings. Amidst all of the economic uncertainty that is happening in the world and some question marks around the U.S. Federal Reserve. Now, on the note of the Federal Reserve, we are going to see our next interest rate decision happen next week in both the U.S. and Canada on Wednesday. So that is definitely something that we'll be keeping an eye on.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
The Fairmont hotel chain plans to build a second hotel in Calgary. The Fairmont Palliser Hotel was built in 1914. Now, the ownership group says it will build a second property in partnership with the Truman Development Group in the greater downtown area. The hotel will have 225 rooms along with 100 luxury branded residences. While Fairmont isn't revealing the location, it will be close to Stampede Park. The hotel is slated to open in late 2031. Alberta has the strongest monthly retail sales growth in the country. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. New data from Statistics Canada shows retail sales in our province climbed 3.7% in November. It was largely driven by Black Friday deals. Coming up at 6, one shopper shares how their spending in November is impacting their shopping habits now. Also ahead, many U.S. film productions choose Alberta as a location, but is the UF tariff uncertainty impacting that industry? We'll have the answer coming up at 6. Ian.
Thanks, Tara. More than likely, you've never seen anything like it. One of the most sensational shows at this year's High Performance Rodeo is Miss Rita's Lucha Vavoom, an eclectic mashup between lucha libre, or Mexican wrestling, and burlesque. The show will be staged this weekend at the Wynn Sport Event Center. And with me are Miss Rita, Natasha Estrada, and Zokre. Thanks to all three of you for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Miss Rita, I'll start with you. This show came to Calgary a few years ago as part of the High Performance Rodeo.
14 years ago.
14 years ago. Why is this the ideal venue for it?
We had such a blast last time, and the audience went bananas. It was a highlight for us, and I think Calgary. And so it took a long time, but we're back.
Now, you have a background as a musician.
I do.
You're a guitarist.
Yes, I am.
How did you come up with this crazy idea?
I mean, I feel like if you're in a band, you have to say yes to a lot of things because you're always broke. So I was producing a burlesque show called Velvet Hammer. And a friend of mine's like, I think people would like Mexican wrestling. So I went to see it, and it was the best thing I'd ever seen. It's so fun. It's more fun than bands, really. It's so acrobatic and funny and high energy, and the characters were larger than life. And I was like, where has this been my whole life? So I was like so thrilled to bring it to the rest of the world that didn't really have access for a really long time.
Now, speaking of larger-than-life characters, Zocre, you do Mexican wrestling as well. How does this compare to, I guess, the real thing?
Well, I mean, Lucha Boom comes with a completely different energy. It's more, and then also the crowd's energy. The crowd feeds into it. The wrestlers pick up on that energy. It's faster. It's wilder. It's chaos that's somehow controlled. But no, it's a whole lot of fun. That's the main thing.
To see my extended interview with the folks from Miss Rita's Lucha Vavoom, visit ctvnewscalgary.ca. Looks like our weather will start to turn around by Sunday. Right now in Calgary, partly cloudy and a chilly -12. Danielle has the details just ahead. So the first half of the weekend looks a little bit challenging, but it starts to turn around by Sunday, turning into Monday.
Yeah, what I like to say is there's something for everybody this weekend. If you like winter, it's definitely winter tomorrow, because not only will it be cold still, we have a lot of snow on the way. -12 is the current temperature, also our daytime high. A normal daytime high is -2, which is where we'll be for Sunday. So before we get to Sunday, we have anywhere from 5 to 7 centimeters of snow. Yes, enough to shovel. A high of -10 and a wind chill throughout the day of -18. And then we recover to more normal temperatures and brighter skies on Sunday with that lovely high of -1.
Thank you, Danielle. The Alberta Cancer Foundation is spinning ahead with its largest and longest-running fundraiser. A day-long spin-a-thon was held in the lobby of the Arthur J. E. Child Comprehensive Cancer Centre today. It kicks off registration for the 2026 Enbridge Tour for Cancer. Riders sign up, raise money, and then come together for a 2-day spin event in Calgary and Edmonton on July 18th and 19th in support of Albertans living with cancer.
Whether you're going through treatment or whether someone you love has heard those words, "you have cancer," it's a very helpless feeling. And this event allows people to have an outlet. It allows them to come to a community of like-minded people who know how hard it is. It allows them to have support. It allows them to go have a little fun during a really difficult time.
And the tour has raised more than $111 million for cancer care in the last 10 years. To sign up or donate, visit morehope.ca. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.